Alright, here's another battle report. This time I brought out my Wood Elves. Haven't played with them in almost 2 years, so I figured it was time to try them out again. This is a 2,800 point Dawn Attack battle, Wood Elves versus Dwarves. Go over my army list first. On the left we got Glade Riders, 10 of them with full command. Then we got 10 archers and 12 dryads, 14 archers with full command, and I gave them, I think I gave them the burning banner, give them fire attacks. And I got a level 4 life mage, has a power stone, and the Wand of the Witch Elm, which of course does me no good against dwarves. It allows me to reroll my dispelled dice. Excellent item against every other army though. Then we got 12 war dancers with champion and musician. We got 6 treekin. Behind them we have a level 2 spell singer with the lore of the Athaloran. Got my Tree Man, another unit of 10 archers, 12 more dryads, and 5 Warhawk Riders with a Wind Rider, the champion, and a Wood Elf hero on Eagle kitted out. I vanguarded my 2 fast units, although it was pointed out to me later that Warhawks can't vanguard, so that was my bad. Doesn't matter, they got killed anyway. So on the dwarf side, we got, we'll go right to left. The right, we have the organ gun. Then we got, I can't remember if it's 25 or 30 hammerers with a dwarf lord, and battle standard bearer. Then he's got a unit of 30 longbeards with hand weapon shield, and a thane with the oath stone. They had the banner 5+ ward save to every unit within 6 inches. So, versus shooting attacks. And we got 20 quarrelers with great weapons and heavy armor. We got a cannon up on the hill, a grudge thrower down next to him, the wonderful gyrocopter in front, and the Rune Lord on an anvil. Yeah, the anvil is really good. So that was deployment. On to turn 1. Alright, dwarves deployed first, so I had to seize the initiative to go first. I failed to seize the initiative, so dwarves with their first turn just held out. He hopped his gyrocopter over in front of my horses to angle them off, so if they couldn't break through easily in the first turn. The cannon took out 1 treekin. The grudge thrower hit dead on to my dryads on the left and killed a few. They're magical attacks, so I don't even get my ward save. Then the organ gun opened up and wiped out half of my unit of Warhawk Riders, and then the anvil did the Wrath or Ruin thing, killed the rest of my Warhawk Riders, put a wound on my hero, and made it so they can't fly and have their ground movement. So he was, yeah, just a sitting duck out there. All in all, good turn for dwarves. On to turn 1 for the Wood Elves. Wood Elves turn 1. My Glade Riders charged into his gyrocopter. Everything else just moved up. I took some pot shots at his quarrelers, killed a couple, and I took some pot shots at his hammerers and killed a couple. And he totally stopped my magic phase. This dwarf army steals one of my casting dice. The Rune Lord on the anvil generates 2. The anvil generates another one. And I think he had a runesmith as well. in the Quarrelers or someplace. So he was whatever the highest dice roll plus 5, and I was the total of the dice roll minus 1. So yeah, I think I got 1 spell off all game. That was it for my turn 1. Alright, Dwarves turn 2. You may notice that the picture did change, even though nothing on the picture really changed. That's because the Dwarves didn't move at all, relying on his shooting to do the damage. Yeah, his organ gun finished off my hero on the eagle without a problem. The grudge thrower scattered and killed an archer. The Quarreler started my war dancers and killed one. The cannon fell short of my tree man, so he did not get hurt. And in the combat with the gyrocopter, we're just hanging out. So hard to hurt toughness 5 with strength 3. So on to Wood Elves turn 2. Okay, advanced up all my combat units. Got to get to his line before he kills me via shooting. Put a whole bunch of shots into his Quarrelers to limit him down some. I believe this turn I shot at his grudge thrower with a lot of shots and actually killed 2 out of the 4 guys that were there. He has engineers on every single one of them. Yeah, and my shocker, my Glade Riders actually killed off the gyrocopter and turned to face, so they had a double 2 targets there in front of them. Alright, on to Dwarves turn 3. Alright, Dwarves turn 3. Sorry about the blurry picture. It is what it is. So this turn both of his miners came on. Forgot about that. He has 2 units of 10 miners with great weapons, no command. The miners on the left came on the flank of my Glade Riders. And the other unit came on to support his hammer block. He fired his organ gun at my tree man and did 1 wound to him. The cannon again fell short, so he didn't hit the tree man. And oh no, his organ gun fired at the dryads and killed a whole bunch, and his I think he fired the grudge thrower at the tree man first, did a wound because it wasn't flaming, and then his cannon fell short. Then his anvil made the new miners on the flank charge the flank of my my Glade Riders, and easily beat them in hand-to-hand, but failed to run them down. So yeah, there you go. That's end of Dwarves turn 3. Wood Elves turn 3. This actually was one of the better turns for me. For charges, I declared everything basically. War dancers into his Quarrelers. Treekin into his Longbeards. I charged the tree man at his new miners. I figured the strength 6 guys would take him down pretty easily, so I didn't want to give him that right off the bat. The dryads charged his organ gun. Moved up with guys, and my right unit of archers fired at his hammers, and then the left 2 units of archers fired at his grudge thrower. This is where I actually killed a couple of grudge thrower crewmen, and my dryads went over to try to slow up his miners on the left. In combat, I won combat everywhere. My tree man, actually I did my dryads first, easily killed the organ gun and overran into the miners. They were in the front. They added another wound into the tally, but the tree man with his thunder stomp and everything totally just annihilated him. I tried to hold with the tree man since he would have been out of the line of sight with the hammers anyways. Would have been perfect for me, but I failed my leadership test, so he had to overrun. So he overran off the board. But my dryads held, so they turned to face. Or else I won combat, but he's steadfast on a leadership 10, so yeah, it is what it is. Alright, on to Dwarves turn 4. Here's another great turn for the Dwarves. His hammers charge the flank of my treekin, killing 2 whole models. I whiffed my attacks badly. Yeah, badly. He combined all of his shooting at my larger unit of archers. His miners charged my dryads and easily killing off most of them. I whiffed my attacks there again. And his hammers tried to pursue my treekin, but failed to catch him. I rolled really high, he rolled really low, and that's where it went. All in all, a pretty good turn for his for the Dwarves. My War Dancers are down to 2 guys left, but they passed their break check on a 3, or there was like a 5 or something like that, but they held, so it was good enough for me. On to Wood Elves turn 4. Wood Elves turn 4. The worst thing that could happen for me happened. My treekin failed to rally on a 9, and so they fled towards my board edge, which was really bad, as you'll see in the next picture. My treekin came on the board, strangle rooted. I fired at the Longbeards a whole bunch. I tried to use my magic to help out my War Dancers. I tried to regrow them. He stopped it. I tried to give him toughness 5. He scrolled that, and then I Dwellers Below was on 6 dice and got the Irresistible. This is my only spell I got off all game on his hammers. He only lost 5 hammers and his Battle Standard Bearer. Yeah, so not as impressive as I would have liked, but it helped. My archers actually charged into his Grudge Thrower. I'm kind of desperate here. What I should have done was turn to face his miners. And you'll see why next picture. I did not charge my dryads in because it would be a pseudo-style charge on the right, so I was waiting to support him with the tree man. And on to Dwarves turn 5. Alright, Dwarves turn 5. What basically happened was his miners charged my treekin, so they had to flee. They fled back in front of his lines. So he declared a second charge with his quarrelers, and rolled really, really high, almost max distance. So he wiped out the treekin because they couldn't flee again. And then he would have come in contact with my archers, with my Wizard Lord, Sorcerer Lord, whatever. So I chose to flee with her because I didn't want her in combat either. Only went like 5 inches, but it was less than his total distance, so he ran that one down too. Horrible, horrible thing for the Wood Elves. My archers did kill off one of his guys in his Grudge Thrower. I won combat, but he stuck around. And he turned his hammers to face my tree man. The cannon did fire at the tree man. Hit, wounded, but only did 1 wound, so he has 3 wounds on him. I got very lucky with that. On to Wood Elves turn 5. Alright, Wood Elves turn 5. Time for some desperate measures. Not that there's a lot he can do left, or I can do left, but I charged my tree man into his Longbeards, and moved my dryads up to keep the hammers out of my tree man for 1 more round. And that gave my archers a target for all their shooting at the hammers. Didn't do a lot of damage, didn't really matter, but had to do something. Tree man did a lot of damage on the Longbeards, but not enough to break them. and that's where it pretty much sits. On to Dwarves turn 6, final turn. Dwarves final turn. Yeah, his miners charged the rear of my Glade Guard fighting the Grudge Thrower. I killed off the engineer with the Grudge Thrower. He did a few wounds, and I fled with I couldn't hold, so I fled away from his miners. Made it away, but didn't. So I didn't get run down there. My Dryad's lost to his hammers, so he turned to face the flank of my Tree Man, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to get into combat there. His cannons, the only thing. I don't remember what his Anvil did this turn, but I think his cannon fired at my my archers and killed off a guy. That was it. And on to the final Wood Elf turn 6. Alright, end of Wood Elf turn 6. Not a lot happened. My archers failed to rally and fled, but they did not flee off the board, so they're still alive. My Tree Man decided to open up a huge can of whoop-ass and beat up on all of his Longbeards, but it was too little too late, and he did not fail his steadfast check. I shot some more hammers, but it was to ill effect. So overall, a definite dwarf victory, with me losing the majority of my army, and he hasn't lost hardly any of his. So, yeah, dwarves are tough, especially with Wood Elves. Hope you enjoyed this report, and I'm not sure what army I've been playing next, so